people, Tiffany Javon here back with another video, and today I actually want to talk about managing your business growth. So I am a new business owner, opened officially my doors for my event space, my event venue, hosting parties and celebrations, basically milestone events for people. And so I just wanted to touch on being a new business owner and how to manage the growth. I know I'm very new to business, but I have picked up these tips along the way. It's not just my tips, it's also people that I have interviewed, people that I know that has been in business, no matter the type of business, but people that's been in the brick and mortar business. We're from real estate agents to people that are investors to people that what am I trying to say? They make things like they're in retail. They make some, maybe a homemade something like homemade candles, or they make clothing, or they're stylists for a living, or whatever the case may be. Whatever your business is, these tips can help you on how you manage your business growth when it's taking off or when it's going upward, and how to kind of stay in sync with your business goals and your business strategy. So, number one is that what's crazy is as a business owner, in order to kind of gauge where you are and different things of that sort, you always have to look to the side a little bit. And by the side, I mean you need to look at another business that is successful or as successful as you would like to be in your same niche or in your same industry, and you want to analyze what's working well for them. Okay, of course, what you can see in different things like that, you can take it a step further and even actually ask them to, share some insights or whatever the case may be. Some people will share, some people won't share, but basically you can do your own also research on, on the outside looking in to kind of seeing, what their reviews are on average, how many reviews are they getting per month or whatever the case may be, to kind of know how many, people are potentially using their business or patronizing their business and different things like that. You can do your own research to kind of see how successful they've been, or whatever case it be. So you want to learn what your competitors are doing, whether they're doing well, what they're doing poorly. Look at their social media, see how people are engaging on there, see how many social media platforms they're on, and then learn how to reach that same market. So even and I look at, like, people can be your competitor or whatever, and they automatically say people are your competitor. But I really feel like ultimately, I feel like your competition is you, right? I feel like you have to be continuously growing and going and learning and evolving with your business, right? And I feel like really there is no other business that's against yours. I feel like it's you against you. So really, other people that are in the same industry as you, that's perfectly fine. That's all well and good. But the things that separate you guys and that's going to distinguish you guys is, first of all, your personality on your business, right? How they package their business, how they package theirs, how they brand theirs, how they brand theirs. But yours is a completely different brand, right? So it's completely unique. It's a one of one. And so I really don't think that businesses are necessarily in competition per se, because I think that people are going to brand their businesses differently. And then it all depends on your level of marketing and the different type of marketing strategies that you have, or that you're implementing some type of marketing strategies to expand your reach and your visibility. So, I feel like, you're constantly can be looking at maybe what's working for your competitors or people that are in your like industry, right, or in your same industry. But you don't have to look at it like, oh, they're doing good, I'm not going to do so good because they're doing good. No, the markets are never completely saturated. Like, you can be bringing your own twist to some, to what you're doing, and you can evolve from there. Number two is that you want to develop a growth plan. So you basically want to consistently be looking at, like, your goals and develop a growth plan. Identify and implement strategies to grow your business, and not just looking at strategies to necessarily grow your money, because growing your business will grow your money by default, basically. So you want to look at maybe have some 3 points or 4 points or whatever the case may be. Look at your social media engagement. How many people are coming to you from social media, or because you've put out reels and posts and videos or whatever the case may be. How many clients are you getting from there? Then how many clients are you getting from that's social media marketing. Then how many clients are you getting from maybe paid marketing? How many clients are you getting from your free marketing? And then kind of doing, a report and an analysis to see where everybody's coming from, right? And to see where mostly, because out of those three things, there's something that's kind of giving you a continuous flow of people, and there's something that maybe not working as much. But then if it's not working as well, maybe you need to tweak it. Maybe there's a way in which you're not posting, content that maybe they want to see, or whatever the case may be. Like there's always tweaks and changes that you can make to kind of see where where you can grow more at, and where you need to put on or light more fire or put on more gas, because you have a good flow of people coming from one of these ways, right? And so you want to constantly be looking at that, to see where your people are coming from, to see where your customers are coming from, and then you want to strategize to how to grow that number, right? You want to, number three, you want to assess your risks. So you want to consider the potential for problems and setbacks in your business. This is why when you start a business and different things like that, of course you want to analyze and do your marketing research and do your financial research and understand like how much money you need to operate, how much money you need to get started, how much money you're going to need for overhead, for continuous operations, how much money at some point that you're going to need for maybe bringing on some support staff or whatever the case may be. So you're going to be looking at these things and constantly like playing with your numbers to kind of see, okay, what can sustain you, long term, and then kind of what you want to implement and kind of what you want to get to, and kind of is there anything you can add to what you currently have on your plate or in your current offering that you can get more value out of? Is there any additional services, any additional products or whatever that you can offer that can get, maybe you can provide another option out there for people to be able to book with you, or you can provide another option to to allow your customer an option, to go with the basic package, the premium package, or the platinum package, or whatever the case may be. However you want to set your stuff up, you always want to be seeing, accessing the risks of the what you offer, but also accessing the risk of what you don't offer, right? By not having enough options out there, or whatever the case may be. So you want to be looking at that. Now, number four is that you want to hire the right people. Now, granted, when I'm an advocate for when you're starting in business, I feel like people need to start by themselves because they need to learn the business structure. Unless you have a different business setup and stuff like that, and you have to start with people, that's different. But what I mean by starting with people is like when you start a business, you don't need to start with like an answering service and a virtual assistant and personal assistant and all these things. Like that stuff can add up quickly. Now, granted, if those are items that you can, assign or delegate to someone else or whatever case may be, if those are your tasks that you can assign because those are your, administrative tasks, but it's not necessarily make it your money task, and you can redirect your focus, and you get more return out of you redirecting your focus on your making money task, then I don't know, it may work for you. But I just think that when starting a business, you need to definitely start, not necessarily by yourself as far as like you being the only one, a part of your think tank or your board or whatever the case may be. But if you are a single business owner or whatever, an individual business owner, and it's your individual idea, I feel like you need to start with just you before you get to hiring all these additional people. So that way you yourself can learn the different avenues of your business. You can learn the different sectors of your business. You can learn how each of the sections come together and how they all work together. And you need to know how it works first before you can train somebody else on how to do it, right? So, or how to do it for your business. Now, granted, you can hire somebody with the expertise or whatever case may be, but you still have to give them your twist on it. You still have to give them your brand. You still them your brand sound and your brand's feel. Like you have to give them that. So in order for you to be able to relay that, you have to first be dabbling in it yourself. Okay, so I feel like you should get your feet wet first, kind of get your experience under your belt, kind of see how you want things to flow, and then once you have enough income coming in and enough return coming back or whatever the case may be, then you can talk about exploring hiring the right support staff. And the right staff is any type of staff that's going to help you grow your business. And by grow your businesses, you're going to grow your reach and also at the same time grow your sales. Okay. That's number four. Number five is that you want to improve your customer experience. You want to be, after you have a client or a customer or whatever case may be, you want to be engaging them, asking them for a review, asking them how did you do, asking them how did they enjoy the service or the product or whatever the case may be. You want to be getting this information because you need it. you need it to be able to intake that information, to digest it, to debrief, to see what's working well, what's not. Maybe there's some fat that's maybe on your, in your business setup that's not working so well. Maybe you can trim the fat and just keep the meat, right? So you want to consistently be reaching out to your clients and your guests and your customers, getting their feedback, even asking them verbatim. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing shameful about asking your customers, because you're selling to customers, right? You want them to be happy. You want them to be fulfilled. You want them to be satisfied. So you need to be asking the pertinent questions, like, hey, if there's anything you can think of that could make your experience even better, or even over the top, what would that be? And people will be honest with you. They will let you know, hey, I didn't see that you had this, or I went to another place and they had this, and I would think, if you guys were to implement something like this, that would probably be even more great, what I mean, or add more value to what you currently have going. And that is free information, right? That's free information. That's free sound information, because they are your customer. So you can collect all those, maybe find yourself doing 10, 15 reviews or whatever the case may be per month, and if from your customers and your clientele, and reviews by whether you call them and you ask them verbatim, to review you, or and also to provide you Google reviews. You need to be asking for reviews. People sometimes, and I would say 1 in 5 maybe, or maybe even 1 in 10, will automatically do it, because they know, okay, and it has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with everything with their experience, right? They know that maybe they're a business owner, or know of a business owner that knows that reviews and Google reviews and having online reviews help more people find you, help more people that do find you feel better about going ahead and soliciting your business, because you have a good review out there. So people want to be able to help in that way. So you might have 1 in 10 people that will do it on their own, but everybody else, you have to ask. You have to ask. You have to reach out and say, hey, would you mind, giving us a 5-star review? Would you mind answering, these couple of questions or whatever? What was your best takeaway from your service or your product or whatever the case may be? What is it that we can do better? And they will let you know. And not everybody, right? Some people you ask, and this is just to get you enough feedback, right? Because if you ask 9 people, you might get feedback from 3 or 4. And this is just the name, the name of the game. It's a numbers game. Some people just don't care to give you feedback, or they just forget, and life starts life, and for them, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's nothing against you. It's just that numbers is a numbers game. So in order to get some feedback, you have to ask everybody, pretty much. Okay. That was number 5, and then number 6 is you have to get completely organized and keep detailed records. And so this helps with your business growth. This helps with your business strategy. This helps with your marketing. You want to get super organized. You want to use systems and different things that'll help you. Right now, I'm using like a management system for my contracts and different things like that. For my inquiries that comes in through my website, everything is filtered through this management system, so I can have everybody located in one place. If I get a lead from a different source and it doesn't necessarily come from my website, I can upload them to my website, so that way everything is housed in one place, and you can go through and you can track, and you can do your weekly, monthly tracks, or however you're doing your tracking. But you need to get completely organized, because you definitely do not want to run a business here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? Off of literally like little sticky notes here and there and everywhere. Like that's what I think about when it comes to like here, there, and everywhere. No, you need systems in place. You need things in place, records in place, so that way you can stay organized, and it will be easy for you, to do your analysis and your evaluation on where you are and where you're trying to get to. Right. Another thing is you want to be creative and strategic. Another way you can be creative and strategic and is by partnering with people in your industry to create like a networking think tank. And that's something that I'm actually going to do, doing like a monthly virtual think tank with people across industries, with women across industries in business, period. Because I feel like if you're in business and you're a woman, of course, I'm a woman, so that's kind of where my mindset is. But I feel like you can glean from one another. There's so many experiences that people has had, and just because you're learning doesn't necessarily mean you have to be learning from your experience. You can learn from somebody else's experience, and so you can get a group of like-minded individuals together. You guys can bounce ideas off each other, bounce strategies off each other. And this is not just, some of these ideas can be like brand new ideas, but also some of these ideas are ideas that that people have already done before, so they can share with you what has worked for them, and you can implement some of these strategies and different things of that sort to help your business grow and to help your business expand. So you can always be changing and evolving and growing and getting better, right? And last but not least, you want to be consistent with these ways in which that you're trying to grow your business. You want to be consistent. You want to be consistent in getting your reviews. You want to be consistent in tracking and tracing your business and having detailed notes and records and being super organized and having systems in place so that way you can capture everything. Because in order to get a good picture of what's going on and kind of seeing how you're doing and seeing how you're getting a return, you got to be able to analyze the data. And in order to analyze the data, you got to capture the data. Okay, so you got to be consistent in capturing your data, be consistent in looking at the data and analyzing and see where you can tweak, and make changes, and where you can grow and where you can get better. Okay, so I hope you guys found value in this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until my next video, guys, stay blessed. Bye.